Happy Friday, I'm Trace, and thanks for watching This Week in Discovery News. Each week we lay out the top stories of the last 7 days, plus your social media comments. This week we've got a special Olympic edition for you, where we're going to cover Olympic security, a man who runs on blades, and sports that were kicked out of the Olympics. Our first story is sports that were kicked out of Olympics past. The opening ceremonies are this week, and every country does them a little differently. The British ambassador told NPR yesterday that they will be very British. Thank you, Sir Peter Westmacott. That was extremely descriptive. Every Olympics has two kinds of sports. The official sport, like archery or gymnastics, is a contested sport. That's what they call it. They also have exhibition sports. This year on the official program, baseball is out. And instead, we've got rugby. So if you were going to London to see a baseball game, sorry to disappoint, but rugby should be pretty darn cool. Now, baseball is not the only sport in the Hall of Olympic Rejects. It'll be joining other sports like croquet, which was contested at the 1904 Olympics between French and Americans, although the Americans called it roquet or roque or something. We just had to be different because we didn't want to copy the French or whatever. Croquet is a game where you hit a ball with a mallet through a course of hoops, kind of like miniature golf. Kind of.
Good shot, my friend. That was excellent.
Oh, okay, it's not at all like miniature golf. There also used to be rope climbing, and flashbacks to gym class aside, this is not an easy sport. They started in a sitting position and had to climb a 26-foot rope. One year in the 1896 Olympics, for some reason, they made it a 46-foot rope, and most of the competitors didn't even finish. Another sport that they don't have anymore is ballooning. Hot air ballooning is not technically a sport because it's subject to the weather, but once the balloon is full, it's quite pretty. It was contested at the 1900 Olympics in Paris, of course, and it's not anymore.
Did we win the gold medal yet?
Another rope sport was tug of war. It is no longer contested, but I think if we did, it would be pretty amazing. Imagine no races, no judges, no points, just two teams battling it out. Brute strength. There's definitely a winner, definitely a loser, I guess, unless it's a tie. I don't know how it works. Anyway, we should bring it back. Last contested in the 1920s. You can see the rest of the rejected sports at discoverynews.com/Olympic Rejects. Our next Olympic story is a bit grim. Security at the London Olympics. The Olympic Games are a huge source of international cooperation and pride, but the visibility of the Olympic Games brings with it increased security. This year there will be military and civilian security personnel, a carrier ship parked in the Thames near the site, and surface-to-air missiles scattered on apartment rooftops all around the place. That's crazy amount of security, all of it in an attempt to say, "Don't mess with us, man, we're trying to have fun here." Okay, seriously, Olympic security is a really big deal. They wanted to hire over 10,000 security personnel, and they couldn't even find that many. Britain is running out of security persons. They had to supplement it with military personnel at the last minute. That is a scary thought. Would you let them put missiles on your apartment rooftop? Let us know in the comments, or visit discoverynews.com/Olympic Security to check out all the security measures. The last story in our Olympic special almost didn't even happen. How Olympic blade runner sprints without feet. Oscar Pistorius is going to be the first amputee to compete in the Olympics. He had both of his legs removed and now has a carbon fiber prosthetic. The blade-like prosthetics have been a source of some controversy over the last while, so much so that he was actually barred from competing in the Olympics until fairly recently. There are worse things in the world than having awkward prosthetic feet, though. The debate rages because the South African sprinter might have an advantage over his able-bodied competitors. The thing is, the human leg, when trained up properly, is fairly sophisticated and affects balance, whereas the carbon fiber legs might give him some kind of mechanical advantage. They're springy and they're great for sprinting, but they're terrible to walk around in. There are only a handful of double amputee runners in the world at this level, which shouldn't surprise anyone, and research is split on whether or not his prosthetic gives him an advantage. The human element, however, is hard to deny. Either way, researchers have said he is a below-average high school runner with those limbs, and no one wants to hear that. While a researcher on the other side said that for him, it's sort of like running on a springy mattress, which isn't easy. Check out the Blade Runner at discoverynews.com/Olympic Blades. Whoa, we got one more story for you. As a bonus this week, we have the top 25 Olympic moments slideshow. You can click through and see Jesse Owens besting the Nazis in 1936, Carrie Strug breaking her ankle in 1996, and Muhammad Ali coming back out of retirement to light the Olympic torch. Whether you like the Olympics or not, it's hard to deny that they have some amazing stories. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Discovery News. Make sure that you like us on Facebook, you're following us on Twitter, and that you check out our Tumblr. You can also subscribe to our Discovery Daily newsletter and get our headlines right in your inbox every morning. Subscription options and links to all of our social media are at discoverynews.com. Make sure you keep commenting and tweeting. I read them all, and have a great week. We'll see you next Friday. Oh. If it was 3D, someone is walking by. It's kind of subject to the wind. Oh. Just putting it out
You're a
there.
pro.
Why not? Not that I don't have two hats. You have a very good attitude about my burping. Huge source.